and gentlemen, welcome. We talked about the relevance of i40 and what the car is doing for us. So let's have a look at the new i40 here today. For us in Europe, it was really the starting point to switch our brand perception from a great value for money brand to a brand that's mostly bought for emotional reasons, such as design. It was the first car to introduce our fluidic sculpture design language. When we premiered this car in Geneva in 2012, people saw i40 as the proof that Hyundai had really arrived on the European market. And that really, it had nothing to fear from our competition. Since then, i40 has significantly boosted our brand image in the European market. It sold more than 100,000 units and gained a share of 5% in the European D segment. It combines 4 key elements for us: styling, efficiency, practicality, and performance. We've built upon these models' core strengths, and as design is the #1 reason for a customer to choose a Hyundai, we focused the refreshing of the design, adapting it to the current Hyundai family phase, while retaining the distinctive and popular aesthetic. But ladies and gentlemen, the most important changes can be found under the hood. For the first time, we introduce our proprietary, newly developed 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. It combines the advantages of both automated and manual transmission. This new 7DCT improves fuel consumption and CO2 emissions compared to the conventional 6-speed automatic, as well as bringing the benefits of increased acceleration and performance to our customers. But we're also enhancing the driving experience through the introduction of an electronically controlled damping system, where customers have the choice between 3 different drive modes. The system adapts the suspension setting, influences the steering, and also tunes the throttle response and the transmission logic to tailor the ride to the customer's needs. New i40 is actually one of the cars with the most comprehensive equipment list on the market, but we added some more new features and technologies for our customers to feel more comfortable and safer. So we added a speed limit identification function, which is completely new to the Hyundai lineup. It recognizes speed signs and displays a current speed limit to the driver to avoid speeding. The new smart high beam system monitors approaching traffic and automatically turns the high beam to avoid dazzling other drivers. The system was first introduced in the new Genesis and is now being introduced quickly into the higher volume segments. Especially useful for our i40 wagon customers is the new smart power tailgate, which opens the tailgate without needing to push a button on the remote key or make any movements on the rear of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, these are only a few new features in the new i40s. You can take a closer look shortly after the presentation. Well, earlier we talked about Hyundai as being part of Europe. But ladies and gentlemen, there's really no car that symbolizes this better than the new generation i30. It followed the i40 in carrying the new and much appreciated fluidic sculpture design language. And I think it always will stay in people's minds as the car where even Mr. Winterkorn was surprised about the level of craftsmanship we could achieve at Hyundai. Since these days, it has become a very strong offering in the European market, and it competes head-to-head with the European C segment. The i30 family for us symbolizes our commitment to Europe. When we started i30, it was in 2007, and since then we sold more than 600,000 cars. In 2012, the i30 was among the first of our cars where customers ranked design as the #1 reason to buy Hyundai. And to top this all off, it was the first Hyundai vehicle to be shortlisted for the prestigious European Car of the Year award. Ladies and gentlemen, new generation i30 is a car we're really proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our new i30. With this product enhancement, we're further strengthening our appeal of Hyundai in the European C segment. We've improved the engine lineup for the whole new i30 family. With further improvements on the fuel efficiency and emissions, we improved our 136 horsepower diesel engine to boast an impressive fuel consumption of just 3.4 liters, and with CO2 emissions as low as 94 grams per kilometer. That's actually one of the most competitive efficiency to power ratios on the market these days. And as in new i40, we will also introduce our new 7-speed dual-clutch transmission to the new i30 range. It will be available with a Gamma 1.6-liter GDI engine, as well as with the U2 diesel engine range. It improves acceleration from 0 to 100 by 10% when compared to the conventional 6-speed automatic transmission, and fuel efficiency could be improved by more than 20%. Within this product enhancement, we also added some new features to the equipment list, making it even more comprehensive than before. Just to give you some examples, new i30 will be available with heated and ventilated seats. That's a first for a C-segment car in Europe. A smart park assist system is also on board to help drivers with bay and parallel parking. And constantly finding its way into our cars across the entire lineup is our lane departure warning, which is also featured on new generation i20. But ladies and gentlemen, there's more to come on i30. So I would like to introduce Thomas Bürkler, Head of Design, to bring something more exciting, fun, and sporty. Hello, Thomas.
Hi, Christian.
Good to see you. What have you got for us today?
Yeah. Hello. You may wonder why a design guy is introducing our high-performance top model of the i30 range. But that's because it's not just about the performance. It's about design. Most obvious is the sports body kit, including a more sharply angled grille, redesigned front and rear bumpers, bike xenon headlamps, twin-spoke 18-inch wheels. All this creates a sleeker, sportier appearance while remaining in line with the overall i30 design language. As with every Hyundai model, we have carefully considered every detail on this car. So on the inside, there are sports seats with fine red stitching, which is matched on the steering wheel, gear shift, and door trim. Also, the cockpit dials have been redesigned to give a more sporty touch. So all of these additions hint at this car's enhanced performance in a bold yet subtle way. The design changes are in harmony with the character of the car and the engine. And with this car, we add emotional appeal to the i30 lineup. So Christian, can you explain us more details about this car?
Will do. Thank you, Thomas. As I just mentioned, we wanted to expand the i30 by introducing a grown-up, sporty, and fun-to-drive new model. And at the heart of this car is our 1.6-liter turbo GDI engine with 186 horsepower. Some of you may already know from the Veloster Turbo. Acceleration from standstill to 100 kilometers an hour takes just 8 seconds, and the i30 Turbo can achieve a top speed of 219 kilometers an hour. That's actually the fastest Hyundai i30 we've ever built. But our focus was really on the overall package of driver engagement and everyday usability, rather than creating a super-duper sports car. This is also reflected in the suspension setup, being more sporty, but at the same time not uncompromising. The car therefore combines sporty style with efficient practicality and will broaden the appeal of the i30 range for a wider audience in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, the upgraded i40 and i30 models will be in showrooms early in 2015, as will the new generation i20. And speaking of i20, for us and for most of you, this is clearly a leap in development. And in fact, it feels like a 2-generation step forward again. The B segment for us at Hyundai is key to our success here in Europe. We've already sold more than 1 million cars in the European B segment. But we wouldn't be Hyundai if we were satisfied here. and achieving the same as before. We are a progressive brand and we want to grow. That's why we're introducing another strategically important newcomer to the i20 family. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the i20 coupe. Well, great design, Thomas. Great job you've done. Compliments. So tell us, what have you done in the team?
This coupe model is a dynamic expansion of our new generation i20 family. We are very proud of this car. It's the first time Hyundai has created a B-segment coupe that's differentiated by design. The differentiation could only be achieved by developing both the 3-door and the 5-door in parallel in our design studio. And the result is a stand-alone coupe design with sporty yet elegant proportions. So the more aggressive, pronounced hexagonal grille together with the rear fender give the car a more powerful appeal. And the more sharply raked A and C pillar add to the more individual and dynamic coupe profile. The sloping roofline adds and creates a sleek silhouette on the car. And, of course, we have the icon, the black cloth C-pillar, which reminds of the i20 family and continues the flow of the roof. Unique features like 17-inch alloy wheels, an exclusive orange extra and interior color palette, and dedicated interior decals underline the individual character of this wonderful car. So, Christian, what's about the highlights of this car?
Well, thank you, Thomas. I mean, what's really interesting about this car is that we wanted to keep the values on the interior the same. And this is actually where usually a coupe or a 3-door has to make a lot of compromises. It remains one of the most spacious cabins in its class. A newly designed rear end, as Thomas just explained, means a trunk space of 336 liters. And that's something you normally don't find in this segment. But we've given the car its own character, as Thomas just explained. Exclusively, comfort features include the memory function of the front seats, allowing drivers to keep their optimal driving position, and longer doors allow easy access to the rear seats. To offer great choice for our customers, we provide the same engine lineup as on our 5-door. And speaking of next year, 2015, our 1-liter turbo engine will come with 100 and 120 horsepower outputs. We'll be introducing these engines on this car as well as on the 5-door. The 120 horsepower version will be focusing specifically on driver engagement and fun to drive, and the 100 horsepower engine will be focusing on class-leading fuel efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude. The i20 coupe combines distinctive design with class-leading roominess, comfort and quality, making it truly stand out in the European B segment. We're looking forward to seeing how this truly unique car will further increase the appeal of the i20 family in Europe. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my presentation. Now let me hand over to Andreas for some final words.
Thank you, Thomas and Christian, for this interesting insight into the future. Thanks, guys. Well, 2015 is set to be an intensive year, and we cannot wait to see these cars on the road. I'm sure you all be keen to have a closer look now, dear guests, at the cars you have heard about. So we will bring them all back on stage now. Each of the speakers you have heard from today are available, of course, for background talks and interviews, so my colleagues remain staying here. As well as I saw some managing directors, President Steve Whitehorn, President of Hyundai Motor UK, and certainly our neighbors, Markus Schrick, Managing Director of Hyundai Motor Deutschland. So they are all here around, as well as other colleagues you have seen, colleagues you have not seen from Hyundai Motor Europe Technology Centers. So please do not hesitate to contact us or them directly. We also prepared, of course, new photos and press information for you, which are available via link or QR code now. Free Wi-Fi is available throughout the whole event, and we also set up a dedicated media space on the other side, hoping this all will be beneficial for you. And for sure, you are invited to join us for some food and drinks whenever you like. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your time here with us. Thank you so much.